Hi, this is a mindful moment. One of the things I wanted to talk about is that mindfulness is not always a pleasant and happy thing. Being able to be in the present moment can be difficult, and that's why a lot of times we don't choose to be in the present moment. We try to escape to the future or we try to go back to the past. And during this time, when we have people being shot for running, people being killed uh, with no just cause, it's tough to be mindful in this moment. The reason why I got into psychology and working with trauma and anxiety disorders, a lot of it was to be able to understand my own anxiety and my own traumatic experiences. I'd be lying to you if I said that I haven't been pulled over or I haven't been stopped and questioned for why am I on a certain side of town. Even during my master's program, I can remember being stopped at gunpoint because I fit the description of someone. And I think back to those points when I see um, other black men in America being killed, and we've become so desensitized to it, or we become defensive to it, that it takes away the conversation around what's going on. And right now, the only advice I have, and the only thing I can put out there is the encouragement of being able to let down defenses if you're an ally or if you are someone that believes in justice, but being able to listen and hear what people are saying, where their anxieties, where their fears are coming from. That this has been going on for a very long time. Now we have more media, we have more attention on it. People have phones that they can record, and so people are getting glimpses of it. And instead of trying to create a false narrative or deny that this thing is happening, to really be an ally for human rights. At this point, this is a defining moment for our culture and our society right now. The reason why I'm even putting this out is because I've made a moral decision that I do not want the next generation to have to feel that fear or anxiety of being able to use their voice and say what they feel and say what they're experiencing. It's taken me years to be able to do that. And during those times when I was first learning how to speak up against injustice or violence, it was out of anger because that was the only emotion I knew how to use. And so for this next generation, as they are more empathetic, they are more connected, being able to help them so they don't have to have these same conversations we're continuously having. So we can actually start to see more progress. If you notice that people are just throwing the facts away or not even willing to look from a different perspective, call them out, speak to that. And it doesn't have to be in a defensive way. It can be in a curious way. Why is it that you can't acknowledge that somebody was choked out on the street? Why is it that if these particular types of people protest, it gets labeled as thugs, gang members? Take that moment before you go into the defensive mode and just be present with the other person's story. And let your feelings, your emotions really connect with them rather than all the things you've been told, all the pieces you've been programmed with. But trust that person across from you that before they talked about race or before they talked about how their rights or their fear is causing them not to be able to go outside for a run. Hear what they're saying. Because before they started talking about that, they were probably a very logical, understanding person to you. But for some reason, when we start to talk about these uncomfortable situations, that's when people shut off. and we need to stop shutting off. We're talking about how do we go back to the old way of life before this pandemic? Do we really need to go back to that old way, or can we find a new way and a better way? Take a moment with this. Breathe it in, because for some people, they can't breathe. Have a good day.